Picture yourself standing at the threshold of a sunlit room. The air carries the delicate fragrance of fresh blooms, and before you, on an elegant white table, rest 4 distinct bouquets. Each one pulses with its own unique energy, telling a story that words alone cannot capture. One arrangement blazes with vibrant intensity, practically humming with life force. Another whispers with gentle luminosity, as if woven from dawn's first light. The third speaks of untamed authenticity, wild and free as a meadow untouched by human hands. And the fourth draws you into its depths, rich and mysterious, holding secrets that only the brave dare to explore. Before we continue, I want you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what you're about to discover might change how you see yourself forever. And trust me, you'll want to come back for more insights like this. Now, here's what makes this so powerful. Our psyche communicates through symbols long before our conscious mind catches up. Your immediate reaction to these bouquets bypasses logic entirely. It's your unconscious speaking directly to you, revealing truths you might not even realize you've been carrying. Here's the first thing you need to know, and I'll reveal 2 more crucial insights as we go deeper into each choice. Your selection isn't just about aesthetic preference. It's a mirror reflecting your current emotional landscape, your hidden needs, and the energy you're radiating into the world right now. Don't overthink this. Let your eyes wander across these 4 arrangements. Which one makes your heart skip just slightly? Which one feels like it's calling specifically to you? That instant recognition, that split-second pull, that's your unconscious mind speaking its truth. If you chose the first bouquet, the one that practically vibrates with chromatic intensity, radiating warmth and electric energy, you've revealed something profound about your inner world. This isn't a passive choice. This bouquet demands attention, commands space, refuses to be ignored. And if your soul responded to this particular arrangement, it means you carry within you an immense reservoir of creative fire that's been desperately seeking expression. You are fundamentally a catalyst. You weren't designed to observe life from the sidelines, to blend into neutral backgrounds, or to wait for permission to shine. Your very essence is transformative energy. You are the spark that ignites change, the pulse that accelerates stagnant situations, the breath of inspiration that others didn't even know they were waiting for. Inside you lives this constant current of wanting, of reaching, of becoming. You can practice patience when circumstances require it. You can listen attentively when someone needs to be heard. You can wait your turn. But underneath that measured exterior runs this river of pure life force that simply cannot be contained indefinitely. And here's something critical that most people with your energy don't realize. But before I tell you what that is, make sure you've hit the like button, because this insight alone could shift your entire perspective on why you feel the way you do. This bouquet attracts individuals who experience existence in vivid technicolor, while others seem content with muted tones. You don't just want more experiences, you need deep. You cannot engage with life in fractions. You don't know how to care just a little bit. You can't love someone partially. When emotion moves through you, it does so with geological force. If you develop affection for someone, it shows in every interaction. If you're wounded, the injury cuts to your foundation. If you experience joy, that radiance illuminates everything within reach. Your soul is expansive. Even if your external presentation reads as quiet, modest, or reserved, internally you contain multitudes. You house entire storms of creativity, passion, and vision. But these aren't destructive tempests. These are the weather patterns of someone who was built to create, to feel, to matter. Now here's the second crucial insight I promised you. The energy you carry won't permit extended stagnation. You can endure challenging periods, navigate valleys alongside peaks, but eventually something within you rises up and declares with absolute certainty that the current situation is insufficient. This isn't restlessness. This is your soul's compass pointing toward your authentic path. Your choice also reveals that you don't fear emotional depth. You've learned to inhabit your feelings fully rather than skimming their surface. You don't retreat from passion, from tenderness, from genuine human connection. Yes, you sometimes worry about your own intensity because people who burn this brightly often sustain deeper wounds, but you're incapable of abandoning your essential nature. This bouquet symbolizes rhythmic pulsation. Your life doesn't follow straight lines. You experience existence in waves, periods of explosive inspiration followed by necessary quiet for integration. Nothing is wrong with this pattern. Your energy operates cyclically, like a fire that blazes brilliantly, then settles into warm embers but never truly extinguishes. What you need to do is honor your natural rhythm instead of forcing yourself into someone else's productivity model. Your path isn't about consistency. It's about harnessing the power of the impulse when it arrives. And here's something else. People who choose this arrangement rarely...
If the second bouquet called to you, the one that seems to glow with soft luminosity, wrapped in delicate tranquility and refined grace, a very specific kind of energy lives within your being. This is an energy of subtlety, of emotional nuance, of inner radiance that rarely announces itself, but always registers with those who've developed the capacity to truly see. This arrangement doesn't assault the senses. It doesn't demand immediate attention. Yet its calm harmony creates an atmosphere of safety and warmth that speaks more eloquently than any grand gesture could. And this says more about your essential nature than you might initially recognize. But before we go deeper, I need you to do something. Turn on those notifications right now, because what I'm about to reveal about this choice is something you need to hear, and you won't want to miss future insights designed specifically for souls like yours. Your selection demonstrates that you feel the world with extraordinary sensitivity. You notice subtleties that most people's awareness simply filters out. You perceive emotional undercurrents, unspoken needs, the delicate shifts in atmosphere that others miss entirely. You understand human beings intuitively, often comprehending their inner state before they've articulated it themselves, sometimes even before they've consciously recognized it. You possess this remarkable perceptiveness, not fragility, not weakness, but an ability to perceive deeper layers of reality. Sometimes this feels like a gift, other times like a weight you didn't choose to carry. You feel so much, process so much, absorb so much, but this very quality makes you someone around whom others feel safe lowering their defenses. This bouquet symbolizes spiritual clarity and gentle strength. You don't need dramatic displays to create impact. Your energy isn't aggressive or forceful. It's nurturing, it's steady, it's warm. You're the kind of presence that can settle a chaotic room through your mere arrival, through a carefully chosen phrase, through a look of genuine understanding. This isn't strategy or persona. This is your authentic frequency.
You love with tenderness, with sincerity, with remarkable depth. Sometimes you experience hurt, not because people misunderstand you, but because you feel the texture of experience so acutely. You value words, actions, attention, all the small gestures that many dismiss as insignificant. For you, symbolism and feeling create meaning. You don't choose whatever shines brightest. You choose whatever resonates with your soul's truth. You prefer genuine connection over performative social interaction. You choose honesty over pretense, sincerity over manipulation. You're someone who understands the value of patience, not because you lack clarity about your desires, but because for you, choosing correctly matters more than choosing quickly. And here's the third insight I promised at the beginning. You possess gentle inner resilience. the kind that reveals itself not through confrontation, but through your ability to remain true to yourself. Even when external circumstances turn chaotic, you don't contort yourself to match the world's dysfunction. You find ways to remain in harmony without compromising your core. You carry within you a powerful draw toward authentic beauty, not the glossy commercial version, but true beauty in feelings, in relationships, in the natural world. You notice how light falls through leaves. You register the smell of air before rain. You hear the subtext in how someone says hello. You find meaning in details others overlook entirely. But this sensitivity can also leave you vulnerable. You find it difficult to tolerate harshness, coldness, absence of empathy. You experience these qualities almost physically, and at times they wound more deeply than anyone could imagine. This bouquet suggests that right now you may particularly need support, warmth, or space for restoration. Perhaps you're moving through a period of inner reflection. Perhaps you've grown weary of the emotional noise surrounding you. Perhaps what you need isn't more activity, but more silence, so you can hear your own voice again. Or maybe you just need someone to embrace you and say with complete sincerity that everything will be okay, that you're not alone. You are someone who brings harmony into other people's. If you were drawn to the third bouquet, the untamed arrangement that looks as though nature itself assembled it with loving chaos, you possess an energy that sets you fundamentally apart from conventional patterns. You are not someone who moves through life following rigid protocols, detailed roadmaps, or predetermined scripts. You are someone who experiences existence more fluidly, more intuitively, more authentically. You feel the world with your heart rather than analyzing it with a checklist. This bouquet attracts souls craving freedom, not external permission to travel or consume or acquire, but internal liberation. It speaks to those who want to breathe without restriction, to see the world with fully open awareness, to feel with complete sincerity. If this arrangement called to you, it means you carry within you something of the wind's nature, the forest's wisdom, and the meaningful silence that exists between words. Now stay with me here, because I'm about to reveal something about this choice that changes everything. But first, if you're getting value from this analysis, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because insights like this don't come around every day. This bouquet wasn't constructed by a perfectionist, measuring precise angles and calculating exact symmetry. It appears as if organic forces arranged it, slightly wild but perfectly harmonious in its wholeness. It speaks of someone who values authenticity over artificial polish. You dislike pretense intensely. You're drawn to honesty, to simplicity, to what's real. It's difficult to impress you with expensive but soulless objects, but you can fall completely in love with experiences. A sunset that paints the sky unexpected colors, the smell of grass after it's been cut, night air that carries a different quality than day, a piece of music that sounds like it's calling from another dimension. This is your strength, this ability to feel more deeply and perceive more clearly than most people ever do. Your perception of the world mirrors the freedom of a wild meadow. In nature, no two stems grow identically, and there is nothing standardized about you either. You know how to be different. You're not frightened of change. You know how to forge your own path, even when it resembles none of the well-traveled routes others follow.
You weren't designed for cages, for limitations, for restrictive categories. Even when life attempts to straighten you, your heart maintains its unique shape. You possess powerful creative energy. Even if you don't identify as an artist, this force manifests in how you dress, how you speak, how you choose what matters to you, and how you connect with other human beings. You discover beauty where others wouldn't think to look. You are a person of subtle, non-obvious, but absolutely crucial details. Choosing this bouquet indicates that you value raw, unfiltered emotion. You cannot tolerate artificiality, not in behavior, not in relationships, not in language. If you're with someone, it's because they genuinely matter to your heart. You don't waste your energy. You don't know how to be partially present. You are always fully invested. This makes you rare, and this often attracts people who have considerable surface shine but feel hollow inside. But your freedom carries its own vulnerability. Sometimes you feel misunderstood. You might think you're too sensitive, too flexible, too emotional. But the truth is, you're not excessive in any dimension. You're simply real. You don't know how to live a fractional existence. You don't know how to move through the world with a closed heart. And that isn't weakness. It's immense strength that only a few possess. This third bouquet also connects to an inner journey. You are fundamentally a seeker. You don't remain in one place too long, not just geographically, but emotionally and intellectually. You are constantly evolving, absorbing new information, observing carefully, thinking deeply, searching persistently. You want to understand meaning, depth, the true nature beneath surface appearances. Even when others perceive simplicity in your presentation, an entire universe exists inside you. Here's what this really means for your life. This bouquet is chosen by those who want to live in ways that permit authentic breathing, surrounded by people who hear their heart's language. It's for those who want a life filled with adventure, genuine smiles, deep conversations, late-night walks that turn philosophical, new tastes, new colors, new perspectives. It's about living your own story rather than performing someone else's screenplay. You are like this bouquet, natural, warm, alive, and free. Your beauty resides in your sincerity, your openness to experience, and your ability to remain yourself, even when that choice is difficult. You know how to love deeply, to be a genuine friend, to feel authentically. And if your soul selected this arrangement, it means you've known for a long time that your power lives in your authenticity. You don't have to be perfect to be beautiful. You're not polished gloss. You are life itself. If you found yourself drawn to this bouquet, the one wrapped in deep, rich, almost mysterious tones with hints of wine and shadow, it means a power lives within you that cannot be manufactured or faked. You are a person of profound depth. You feel differently. You see differently. You understand differently. There is something about your presence that makes people pause when you enter a space. It's not volume or theatrical gesture or any attempt to manufacture impression. It's energy, a power of presence that feels calm, substantial, and quietly confident. And what I'm about to tell you about this choice is something you need to hear, even if it's uncomfortable. But before I do, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because if this bouquet called to you, you're going to want every piece of content designed for souls operating at your frequency. This bouquet is chosen by those who are not afraid of their own emotional depths. You understand that darkness isn't evil. It's the space where genuine inner growth occurs. It's the territory where the most profound self-discoveries are born. This choice is made by someone who knows how to look into depths that others fear to acknowledge. This doesn't mean you live for drama. Quite the opposite. You can't stand phoniness, superficiality, or performative histrionics. You choose depth because that's where truth lives. You are someone who feels tremendously, but rarely displays everything on the surface. To others, you may appear strong, sometimes even impenetrable, but behind that strength lives immense emotional sensitivity that you don't offer to just anyone.
You know how to love so completely that it becomes woven into another person's destiny. But you also know how to walk away quietly, without scene or spectacle, simply closing the door when you recognize that a place no longer holds meaning for you. And after you leave, things often crumble because your energy isn't incidental. It's the kind of force that holds structures together. Now, here's the critical thing most people don't understand about this choice, and this is where it gets really interesting. The dark bouquet is selected by those who see things through to completion, who are ready for deep feeling, for honest conversations, for real transformation. It's the choice of someone who doesn't seek easy paths. You understand that for something to hold genuine value, it must possess depth. You dislike superficial relationships, shallow meetings, surface-level conversations. You cannot play a role when you're not interested. You are too honest and too perceptive for that. In love, you're the kind of person who becomes unforgettable, the one who leaves a mark even if you asked for nothing in return. You can see through people, perceiving their fears, their weaknesses, their hidden desires with almost uncomfortable clarity. And sometimes that frightens those who aren't accustomed to such intensity. But with you, someone can experience an entire lifetime in a single glance. Your emotions aren't chaotic or scattered. They are deep, rare, and precious. You give them only to those who have earned them through demonstrated authenticity. Choosing the dark bouquet also signals inner maturity. You have moved through significant experiences, perhaps even through pain that no one witnessed, through periods of silence when it felt like no one could hear you, through moments when you had to reconstruct yourself entirely alone. And all of it didn't make you cold, it made you wise. You aren't afraid of solitude because you know how to find strength within yourself. You aren't afraid of change because you understand that life constantly rewrites our narratives. You are the kind of person who can be a source of light in someone else's darkness, but rarely asks for help yourself.
You're accustomed to handling things, to being the foundation, to being the one trusted with the heaviest burdens. But sometimes you grow weary. Sometimes you wish someone could understand you at a deeper level, could see not just your strength, but the tenderness within it. To be a deep person means to feel the world with doubled intensity. Your choice also speaks to your intuition. It is sharp, almost uncanny. You sense when to stop, when to advance, when to walk away. You can read people through their silence, through their tone, through their distance, through the pause between their words. You are rarely wrong about people. And when you are, it's because you wanted to believe in them, not because you didn't see the truth. And here's what you need to understand about your path moving forward. The dark bouquet symbolizes inner transformation, not the fairy tale version, but the real kind, the profound shifts that happen through survival, through rebirth, through choosing yourself when no one else will. You are one of those rare individuals who can completely transform overnight if you recognize it's time. You can wake up the next day as someone new, stronger, calmer, wiser, carrying forward only what serves your evolution. You are a person of depth, strength, and emotional honesty. You are someone who knows how to love, not superficially, but faithfully. You are someone who cannot be replaced. If this composition drew you in, it was no accident. It recognized its own soul in you, deep, beautiful, and true.
Each of the 4 bouquets you encountered was far more than a simple collection of flowers. They were mirrors reflecting states of your soul, the ones we rarely acknowledge but always carry within us. Your choice was never random. You don't choose flowers with your eyes alone. You choose them with your heart, with your unconscious, with the parts of yourself that know truths your conscious mind hasn't yet articulated. If you were drawn to the bright, vibrant arrangement,
It means tremendous movement, energy, and a desire to live in ways that cannot be ignored exist within you right now. If you chose the gentle, luminous bouquet, your soul is calling for calm, care, softness, and quiet warmth in this moment of your journey. If you resonated with the natural, wild, slightly chaotic arrangement, it's a signal of freedom, creativity, inner searching, and the desire to exist without masks or pretense. And if you chose the deep, rich, mysterious bouquet, it means strength, transformation, wisdom, and the ability to walk through your own shadows are actively growing within you. Flowers are honest, they never pretend, and your choice is one more confirmation that your soul always knows slightly more than your mind is ready to admit consciously. When you look at your chosen bouquet, you see a fragment of yourself, your strength or your tenderness, your sun or your night, your past that has transformed into wisdom, and your future that is already approaching. Before you go, I want you to remember something crucial. You don't have to be the same person every single day. You can be the bright morning, the quiet evening, free in moments of inspiration, and deep in moments of reflection. We change, and that is profoundly beautiful. But within each of us lives that one flower that blooms exactly when its time has come. Now here's what I need you to do. First, leave a comment below telling me which bouquet you chose and whether this resonated with you. Second, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because we're going deep into insights like this every single week. And third, share this with someone who needs to hear what their soul is trying to tell them. May your heart always choose what feels authentic. May your soul blossom however it desires. And may every choice you make remind you that you are alive, feeling, and constantly evolving. And that is the most beautiful thing about you.